Okay, so welcome to Kate's Cakes After Dark first episode. I'm gonna experiment with talking to the camera, and I feel like I should only do this when nobody else is in the kitchen. It's 7 o'clock, and we're making a margarita cake for 40 people. Or it's actually for 30 people, but I feel like I'm gonna accidentally make it for 40. Cream cheese, I like to do sugar cookie chunks. I love when like every bite's different, and thought of getting like a giant chunk of sugar cookie makes me so happy. I want it to be nice and tall, but we don't want it to be tall and crooked. Okay, I think that should be good. I feel like with any of my realistic cakes, they're kind of like a whimsical version of realistic. Like they're realistic to a certain point, but then I always like add a ton of glitter, or I'm hand painting, or I like exaggerate a color or something like that, or I add like big accessories. I really like big, and sometimes super realistic is too understated. Realize this looks like it'll get there. Okay, we're getting there. Back to the freezer. All the cakes in the freezer. I'm thinking I'm either gonna make the limes or I'm gonna eat dinner. Cakes in general are a lot of like in and out of the freezer, in and out of the freezer. So honestly, most of the cakes I do are like a multitask with other orders. It gets a little tricky to film because sometimes I like start and stop something over like 2 days. But we're gonna try it. Okay, while the cake's in the freezer, I'm eating dinner, and I eat basically the same meal like 5 days a week. It's brown rice, spinach, radishes, cucumbers, carrots, and either tinned salmon or tinned tuna, but both of them spicy. And then a little bit of like these like Japanese spices and a little bit of soy sauce. And normally avocado, but I'm out, which honestly takes this meal from like an 8 to a 5. But that's okay. Anyways, that's my dinner. Okay, so one more coat of buttercream, and then we will add on the ice cubes. Now we're cutting the ice cubes, to be honest. I just kind of go a little bit rogue. I just kind of like play around with it where you look at the top, it looks kind of like ice. I don't know, you'll see what I mean. Start with just covering the ice first and making sure it looks like super crisp and super icy. You'll start to see like any of my designs are not like perfectly symmetrical. There's like something funky going on, because like half of custom cake decorating is literally just like hiding your mistakes. Oh, that looks crooked, let's put something here. Or like, oh, this fondant ripped, let's put the lime right there. You know what I mean? It was like really not wanting to do these, but they take actually, I don't know, 3 minutes, so like suck it up. It'd be like a 6-inch lime. Just huge. Love this thing. And obviously, I need a baby. I left without finishing the end because my friend called me and I was talking on the phone. Also wearing the same outfit because I put it on right before this cake, not realizing that I was gonna do this like talking behind the scenes situation. So it's like, I only had it on for like an hour. Anyways, next I've got 2 hours until people are at the kitchen. So I'd like to finish this so I can do this whole like talking thing. And it's still dark outside, so the after dark still works. I've been doing these margarita cakes for a really long time, but they've definitely evolved over the years. I mean, obviously, like you would hope they would have. Sometimes when it goes on perfectly like that, you're just like, whew. It's 8 o'clock, and I already drank 30 ounces of coffee. And now I'm like, where do I go from here? Okay, so we're gonna airbrush this. Not to use your imagination, so like, give me a little leeway, but you'll see what I'm going for once I start airbrushing. Add a little more greeny green just because it's prettier. And now we're gonna add some jalapenos. like you're looking through the glass. So I feel like with any of my cakes, I do like a mix of techniques. The result looks a little more like dynamic. Like you look at it and you're not exactly sure how somebody did it, which makes it more fun. Like I never want things to get boring or predictable. So now for the best part, the tahini. They're sugar crystals that I dye and then I mix them with like some gold sprinkles as well. Look like tahini. Random things, I'm like, should I sell this? Like, should tahini sprinkles be a thing? I almost feel like, yeah. It breaks up all the texture of the fondant. I think they're good. They're fine. I need to be done. Angelica's buying Airbrush, and I need to have this done by the time she gets back because I don't want to make her listen to me ramble. But we're almost done with these. I'm just adding the seeds. Also, a very satisfying part is steaming. I've never steamed any clothes or anything. I've only steamed cakes, but you use the exact same steamer, the same style steamer. I want to get this nice and glittery so it looks super festive. If I can find the glitter. All I do is just like walk around in circles looking for things. Okay, we kind of need the piping gel for me to finish, but also I don't really want to finish talking in front of her. What am I gonna do? Do like a silent finish. I also can just talk in front of her, it's fine. But it just kind of makes me laugh. These are practice. This is definitely a technique that has stayed the same since the OG. I'm gonna have to put a picture of the original margaritas with the cakes because you're gonna laugh. But yeah, these Wilton dowels I just use for straws. I feel like they're perfect. Honestly, this one's so big, I almost need a bigger straw, but we're not gonna do that. This pretty lime is gonna go in front, ugly lime is gonna go on top, and we're probably gonna put like a jalapeno pepper on top of it. You see what I mean? How you're just like always kind of hiding your mistakes. Maybe that's just me though. I'm wondering if other people feel the same way. Oh hell yeah, this giant lime looks sick. And I'm gonna piping gel it so it's nice and shiny. This is what's fun about the ice cubes is it kind of like gives an interesting base to like set any of the accessories. So that way they can all kind of like move with the cake. That sounds cheesy, but you know what I mean. At least I think you do. Jalapenos are honestly a really fun part. Like this guy can definitely kind of just peek out right there. Yeah.